Hello, everyone. I'm Tabitha, and I'm here with Jasmine and Lindsay, and we are creating our family therapy video. And our scenario is a new stepmother who is recently married, and she has a 13-year-old stepdaughter who is having trouble adjusting to life with her father and her new stepmother when she is visiting with them. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And thank you. Hi, everyone. How are you ladies today?
We've been better,
Hmm.
we've been better, but overall, it was an okay week.
Okay, okay. So let me start with you, Jasmine. Tell me what you think the problem is and why you're here today.
Well, me and Lindsay's stepfather, we recently just got married, and we've been having a hard time adjusting, especially me and Lindsay's relationship. I try to, take on that motherly role, um, as her stepmother, and it kind of backlashes, I would think. Sometimes if I ask her to do the dishes, I get nothing but attitude. She
Hmm.
just rolls her eyes. She storms off. She doesn't really follow what I say. She doesn't really follow any of my directions. It's kind of frustrating, um, trying to adjust to this new family dynamic.
Sure. Okay. So what I heard you say is that you're having a hard time adjusting, that you're trying to make things work, and you're trying to build a relationship with Lindsay, but then when you try to interact with her, she just kind of blows up at you. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And like she just calls me all types of names. I mean, she just starts yelling and her face gets all red. I mean, I can see the anger in her eyes. And I just keep wondering why she's so mad with me, why she's so angry. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, Lindsay, talk to me about how things are going for you. What do you think the problem is?
She's just trying to play my mom, and she's not. She's
Mm-hmm.
not ever going to be my mom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it sounds like it's been really hard for you that, your mom and dad got divorced, and then, later on your dad, he's gotten remarried and has this new wife, and you go over there, and, she's trying to interact with you in a way that makes it feel like she's trying to be your mom, and it's upsetting to you.
Yeah, she tells me what to do all the time. She's not nice. I have a mom already. I don't need another
Mhm.
mom. Like my dad.
Okay, so and then do you feel like you kind of just sort of blow up when these things happen? Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, I just get really angry. I
Mhm.
don't.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would like to try something with you all. It's called externalization. And what we do is we actually label the problem, because I do want to emphasize, Jasmine, that you are not the problem. Okay, you're a new stepmom. You're newly married. I'm sure it's stressful for you creating, starting from scratch. And Lindsay, the same goes for you. You are not the problem here. You're under a lot of stress because you're young and you're in your teenage years, and now you're having to deal with the stress of having a new addition to your family that you're not used to. So we're gonna make sure that everybody understands that the people are not the problem in this situation. The problem is the problem. So let's come up with a name for the problem. And both of you had mentioned that Lindsay does have an issue with sort of blowing up, and then you guys can't communicate. Would you say that the blow ups are the main problem here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean,
Okay.
the blow ups are what causes the friction. So yeah.
Okay. So, can you think of a time when you guys interacted and you didn't have a blow up? You had a positive interaction?
A couple years ago, we went to the movies and to dinner, and it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But she
Okay.
wasn't really acting like my mom. She wasn't telling me
Uh-huh.
what to do.
Okay, so you kind of bonded over having an outing. Did you have a good time when you guys had your outing, Jasmine?
I would say so. It was a pretty good day, and I really felt like me and Lindsay were making a connection.
Okay, well, that sounds like one possible solution. So I'm going to give you some homework later on before we leave today, but I do want to ask you one other question. Lindsay, what would help when you start feeling this? You mentioned feeling anger. When that happens before the blow up occurs, because the blow up is really the problem here. What would help? I mean, what could Jasmine do that would help if she gave you some space or if she, talked to you, what would help?
To just leave me alone. Let me go to my room, be by myself, and just chill out for a while.
Okay. And Jasmine, do you feel like that's something you could do if
I
she
don't mind giving her space if that's what she needs, as long as we can come back and, talk about the blow up.
That's a really good idea. Lindsay, how do you feel about that? If you start to feel angry, if you can tell Jasmine, I need some time to myself, and she gives you that time and space, do you think that later on when you're feeling calmer, you guys can come back and have some time together?
Yeah, I think that would work.
Okay, excellent. These are really good solutions that you all are coming up with here. Now, I would like to give you a couple of homework assignments for next time. Before we meet, we're going to meet again in 2 weeks, and before we meet, I would like for you guys to find some time to go on an outing, much like you did before, where you did dinner and the movie, and I think that will be a good experience for you all to bond together. And the other thing I want you to do is if you start to notice yourself, Lindsay, feeling these feelings of anger, or Jasmine, even if you notice a change in the mood, one of you please suggest, well, why don't we give each other some space and try taking that space and coming back together when everybody's feeling a little bit calmer. You guys think you could work on both those things before we meet next time?
I can do
I
that. I
think
think
that's
that's
a
reasonable.
doable thing. That's reasonable.
Okay. Okay, great. So when we meet in 2 weeks, we'll talk about how all of that went, and we'll see what kind of a progress you've made with these blow-ups, okay?
I think we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.